Health is a major factor in the growth of every country's economy. Ghana is no exception to this. HIV and tuberculosis, we call TB, has a prevalence in Ghana. Here at Stop TB Ghana, we talk about what HIV and TB does, but we focus mainly on TB. Welcome to Stop TB Partnership Ghana TV. We're coming from Capital View Hotel, Koforidua. I'll be your host today, and with me, I have my guest, Mr. Wisdom Klenwin, Volta Regional TB Coordinator. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Sir, can you talk about TB in general?
Thank you very much. TB, as we all know, is an airborne disease, which if someone have the bacillus or TB and he cough into the air carries it, and if you are close to that person, you are likely to pick the bacillus.
Okay.
And I must say, TB is in two forms. We have the pulmonary TB, that's the TB that affects the lungs, and the extrapulmonary TB that affects other parts of the body. And let me say that TB can affect any part of the body, apart from the hair that we have and the teeth that we have in our mouth. TB can affect any part of the body.
Thank you, sir. What is the current state of TB in Volta region?
Currently, we have 18 districts in Volta, and all of them are reporting TB. Let me say, in the year 2020, we reported 810 TB cases, new TB cases. And 2021, we reported 802 TB cases, which means that we have the disease in Volta region.
You have the disease in Volta region. How do you identify the disease then?
You can only be identified if the test is done. And the first test we do is using the GeneXpert machine.
What is GeneXpert, if I may ask, please?
Yes, Gene is just a machine that when you have the bacillus or you cough, we ask you to produce the sputum. It's just a machine that we use to run the sputum. And at the end, to tell whether you are positive or you are negative. And it depends on the quality of the sputum you produce. You can have the disease, but if you produce only saliva, you are likely to get a negative result. But if you produce quality sputum, the machine will be able to tell you you are positive.
What do you mean by quality sputum?
At times when you ask your cases or somebody you presume or having TB to go and produce a sputum, the person will go and give you saliva.
Okay.
And with that one, the lab find it difficult to work with saliva. Okay. So if you talk of quality sputum, you have to produce a sputum, the mucus one that we use to run the test.
Does it mean you have to cup deep down?
Yes, so there's a procedure you have to pass if you want to produce the sputum. First of all, we ask you to wash your mouth to remove any debris in your mouth because it interacts with the test that we do. You wash you raise your mouth first. Then we ask you to breathe in 1, 2, and the third one you cough. If you cannot do that, we ask you to take a chilled water that actually you have some flame coming out. Then you give her the flame.
What happens after you get a sputum?
That's why we run the test.
How do you run the test?
We take it to the lab. Then the lab staff or biomedical scientists run the test using the GeneXpert machine.
GeneXpert machine. Coming down to Volta region, where you coordinate, how many GeneXpert machines do you have in the region?
Currently, we have 11 hospitals that are having the GeneXpert machine.
As against how many districts?
18 districts.
18.
Which we think if all the districts should have the GeneXpert machine, will be of help.
How many GeneXpert machines are functional?
All the 18 are functioning currently.
That means in the Volta region, we get a good results coming out from the GeneXpert.
Yes.
Does it mean the Volta region stands tall when it comes to case finding for TB?
Yes, because we build capacity of staff. And we also put a lot of strategies in place to find the missing TB cases. And I must say, Stop TB Partnership also have some NGOs in Volta region that are helping us to find these cases. We also put a strategy like intensified case finding, where we have TB screening to be positioned at all the entry points to the hospital. We can mention OPD, ANC, CWC, male ward, female ward, and which all the staff there are being trained to do the screening.
Does this only occur in the Volta region or some other regions does the screenings too?
It's a national program which all the hospitals, health facilities, and chiefs in Ghana supposed to be doing this intensified case finding.
Okay, so you are talking about having 11 gene experts in your region as against 18 hospitals. What do you think needs to be done in order to get those 18 machines set?
We need support from NGOs, the government, even if TB Partnership can also sponsor us, get some of these gene expert machine. NTP, National TB Control Program, if they can also support us to get more gene experts to the Volta region, it will be of help to the region.
But aside Volta region not having enough, do you think other regions also suffer same problems?
Yes, I cannot speak solely for those regions, but when we come for national programs like this, they also complain that they need more gene expert machine. So it's a similar problem in other regions.
Which means gene experts play a vital role in contributing to case finding as far as TB is concerned.
Yes.
Now that we don't have enough expert machines, what is your appeal, again, to the government?
Thank you very much. I want to appeal to the government if they can be of help to Volta region, not Volta region, other regions as well, so that we can get more gene expert machine. Because the more closer the machine is to you, the more our staff will also be willing to send sample to the gene expert side. But if it's far away from you, some feel reluctant of moving to those places. I think that's why, because we don't have it in all the facilities or the hospital, that's why the Sputu transportation come to play by even contracting Ghana Post to be transporting. But I think if they are able to give a more gene expert machine, that money given to maybe a private entity to be transporting, that money can even be used to buy gene expert machine for all the districts, all the 18 districts, so that that money can be used rather to buy the machine, so that at least transporting Sputu will be easier for us.
COVID and tuberculosis, how do they correlate?
They have a similar signs and symptoms. So as a way to get more TB cases, we are doing what we call biodirectional testing.
What is biodirectional testing?
Okay, let me start this way. When the COVID started, they realizing that they all have same signs and symptoms. Greater Accra piloted a program last year, January. They took 206 samples of COVID.
Okay.
When they ran it for TB, the same time COVID. Okay. When the test was run, majority of the result came out positive for TB rather not COVID.
That is 2021.
2021.
Okay.
And only a small number rather came out positive for COVID.
Okay.
Based on that, as a national, they try to roll it all over to all the 16 regions. That's why we are doing biodirectional testing, which means that if somebody comes to your facility with cough, you take the same sample for TB, you take the same sample for COVID, so that we run the two. So with what we are seeing now, we are having a lot of TB cases coming up. Because initially, if you have something for COVID, they only ran the sample purposely for COVID without doing for TB. But now that we are doing the two together, we are getting more. Okay.
Sir, does it mean every cough is a suspected TB case in Ghana?
Yes, that is to be suspected case. We don't even call it suspected. Okay. We call it presumed case.
Presumed
yes.
case.
So whether all cough a presumed case of TB? I will say yes. So in that case, we'll normally take your sample, sputum sample, then we run. So that's why when you come to the OPD, the first question we ask is, are you coughing? If you say yes, then that's where the screening will start. Then we'll ask you, how long have you been coughing?
But what if I tell you I'm not coughing, although I'm coughing?
Definitely, if we don't get you at the OPD, when you get to the consult room, with the situation in which we are with the COVID situation, people don't want to say I'm coughing.
Okay.
Because you say that, okay, then if you are coughing, then we'll quarantine you or we'll take your sample for COVID. So people want to avoid the quarantine period.
Okay.
So they will tell you, I'm not here because I'm coughing. But when they get to the consulting room, if the doctors probe, oh, what is happening to you, they don't know that, no, this person might be presumed for TB.
Could there also be a case of stigmatization?
Yes, that one is also part. Okay. So it's something the program and the region is working on. That it's interesting to know. Even those that we put on treatment, they will tell you, I don't want to, if you have a case, you're supposed to have a treatment supporter.
Okay.
Somebody who's supposed to monitor you to take your medicine. We don't give the medication to the patient to go and take.
Why?
They don't take. TB medication, you'll be on a treatment for 6 months.
Okay.
It's not like malaria that say 3 days, 6 months.
Why is it 6 months?
Because of how stubborn the bacteria is. So you have to be on a treatment for long before it can clear out of your system with different medication. And each medication goes to do its work.
Does it mean TB is curable?
TB is curable.
Oh, wow.
TB is curable. So when you have TB, there are medication we give to you for free. So people, because of the stigma, they will tell you, I don't want anybody to know I have TB. I don't want you to even come to my house visiting me, I have TB. But with constant counseling to the patient and the family, that person accepts to take the medication. So because of that, you give the medication to them, they want to hide it, they don't want to take it. So they take it for maybe 1 month, they feel like they are okay, then they put it. Those are the cases that are turning out to be drug-resistant cases we are having now. Those are the people, if you have a resistance, you have to change your medication you have to be on medication for 11 months, 9 to 11 months. So that's some of the contributing factors of stigma.
So I wouldn't like 6 months, but rather I would like 11 months.
11 months.
Then I think there should be much education given to the patients too.
Yes, so when you are diagnosed of TB, we have to talk to you, counsel you very well, the condition you are having, and how you're supposed to take your medication, and what will happen to you at the end. If you don't take it, this is what will happen.
Currently, what is the role of the government as far as TB is concerned?
One, the government is making sure that the drugs are always available. We have the gene expert machine. We have the gene expert machine to diagnose the first test. Microscopes are available to do the follow-up test. Month 2, we do the test to see whether there's improvement. Month 5, we do the test. When you finish it, taking the medication 6 months, we'll run the test again to make sure that you are cured or you complete treatment. The government is making sure that we have gene expert machine. That's why I said earlier, they are able to give us 11 gene expert machine. We even want them to give us to occupy or to cover the rest of the 18 districts.
Okay.
So we are hoping that 7 remaining districts should also have the gene expert machine.
So when are you expecting these machines to finally arrive in your region?
That one, we are always putting it at the doorstep of government through the NTP.
Okay.
And if TB Stop Partnership can also sponsor us getting those gene expert machine. Let me say that we also want X-ray machine, because you do the gene expert, the person is negative, because maybe it depends on the quality of the sputum. Meanwhile, the person is positive. And the person has to go ahead and do the X-ray. And when you do the X-ray, the person is suggested for TB. But the money to go and do the X-ray is a problem. The government or the hospital will not pay for that one for you. You have to pay the bill yourself. And in Volta region, you only have it in Akachi Hospital.
The whole Volta region?
The whole Volta region.
Just one X-ray machine?
One X-ray machine, which we have bigger facilities that are detecting TB case for us, which they need the X-ray.
Wow.
So if they can't even, if they can't even give it to all the 18 districts, I think majority of the hospitals should have the X-ray machine so that we can detect more cases of TB.
Wow. And I think we will have to have a forum where we will have to appeal for more X-ray machines, because Volta region is not a small region.
Yeah.
It's a big region. So for a whole region to have one X-ray machine, I think something must be done about it.
Yes.
Which people do you think we can get to? As maybe government, Stop TB Partnership, NTP, NCCM. Which organizations are we to go to for those machines?
Okay, TB Partnership can be one.
Okay.
Because they also take funding from Global Fund.
Okay.
And they normally sponsor us in a lot of areas. Let me say, we also appeal through NTP to the government to also get a more gene expert machine and X-ray. Secondly, we depend largely on the government through the NTP to also support us with these X-ray machines and the gene expert machines to help facilitate the work in our region.
Do you have any individuals in your region that can also give supports for these X-ray machines? But I learned X-ray machines are expensive.
Very, very expensive. So we have other NGOs that comes which we appeal, but all depend on funding.
Okay.
Because it's very expensive. So we don't have any reply back from them. But we rely solely on the government through the NTP that support us with these machines.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you too.
You've really opened my eye on various things from your region and Ghana as a whole. Viewers, today we've learned so many things about TB. We've gotten to know that Volta region has 18 hospitals with 11 gene experts. We also know that Volta region only has one X-ray machine, which to me it's never fair. Thus hinders the progress in TB case finding, as well as even treatment. Just like we said earlier, a country with good health has the best wealth forever. Thank you very much. This is Stop TB Partnership Ghana TV. Join us and watch more from us. Thank you.